So we're in the interface. Now let's see what we can do from there. Okay, so now that we are in the interface, I wanted to kind of walk you guys through that and show you what's going on here. Starting on the left-hand side, we've got dashboard, which is where we are now. First thing is PBX. We've got all the vital functions for PBX, how to do your dial plans and how to control things. Numbers, dial plan, extensions, and hardware. With any inbound dial plan, all the magic starts with the phone number. Somebody calls you, you want the call to do something. First thing we can do is we can check to see this is the number that I was assigned when I first signed up. This is my free Ringplan number, and by default we're going to go ahead and route that to your extension. In this case it was 1001 because that's the extension that I picked. Now if I wanted to change that, which I will do here shortly, I would click the little pencil and give this a name, main number, extension. Right now I only have one extension. If you were going to have an inbound IVR or you wanted it to do something else, go to a voicemail or a conference bridge, ring group, maybe you want time-based routing, all these different options are available. Queue, for example, I could route it to an IVR. We have a couple pre-made IVRs that you can edit so you don't have to start from scratch. I could just route that to my business hours welcome IVR if I wanted to do that and save it. You'll notice that it does update the destination. How do we know what the IVR is going to do? You said that the number is going to go to an IVR, for example. So then I would come into Dialplan and I would click on IVR. And there is the options that I had. Business hours welcome. That is the IVR that I was going to select. So we can kind of come in here and see what options that are going on here. We've got a lot of options. This may look pretty intimidating at first. Most of the time you're really not going to need to mess with a lot of this stuff. I'll do another video on how to go through this in detail, but for now we're just going to leave all the things default. I didn't really make any changes, but since this could be a production system, it's not going to apply whatever changes you made until you go ahead and hit this red apply button, in case you wanted to make multiple changes and you didn't want them to break halfway through until you were done making those changes. That's how you route an IVR. For example, if I wanted to route it to a queue, see, we already pre-created this Q701 ring all, so if I wanted to use a queue, I could go back in here and I could just edit this. I could drop it down to queue, and then there's my 701 right there. Now if I were to call this number, it would drop into this queue instead of my extension. And again, if I wanted to know what that queue is going to do, I would go in here, click on the queues, and then I could go ahead and edit that. Dial plan stuff has a little bit of a learning curve to it. We do have tooltips after each item, so if you're not sure what something does, you can click the little question mark next to it and it will tell you kind of what it does. And we do have support for this. If you're trying to figure it out but you just can't make it work right, you can always contact us, and we've got people on staff who can walk you through this part as well. This is how you control your dial plan, is through these different menus, and depending on what you want to do, there is a way to get it done through the combination of these menus.